Welcome in to another edition, game day edition of the Cavalier Connection. I'm Jeff, joined by Jay. How you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great. We don't often get live pregame shows, so this is kind of a special deal.
I wish we were doing this one live from Charlottesville or on the field or whatever else. That's where Jack is just arrived at Scott Stadium just a little bit ago. So don't worry, he's got you covered there in Charlottesville. But Jay and I, we're both here, fathers of baseball players. So baseball had to take precedence today. Game one for me at 2:30, and now you're
That's
talking
rough.
about sucking. So I'm recording the game. I'll watch the first hour of the game, and then got to make my way over to the field. Jay, you got practice today?
At practice at 1 o'clock, and I feel like I can't look at my phone at all because I'll accidentally see something, and you want to watch the game as if
Yeah,
it's as if you're you know watching it live.
yeah. And well, this is one day I sure hope that if we don't have to worry about a score situation
That's
with
true.
a close game. But anyway, today's episode brought to you by our friends over at Mincers. That's a little better view to me and Jay on the screen. Make sure you guys get over to Mincers. If you're in Charlottesville today, it's a whiteout. You can. I've got this. This is one of my white shirts I got from Mincers. Jay's got one sitting there. Whiteout. Don't miss out. I know the university's handing out the white shirts today to the first 25,000 for the remembrance. What do they call the shirt? The
UVA strong.
Yeah, UVA strong. Couldn't get the words out. But also head over to Minster's. They got deals galore on the white shirts. You know, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. If it's white and it screams UVA, it's there. The best whiteout gear in town is waiting for you right on the corner, right there at uh Mincer's. So definitely go get your whiteout gear. You don't want to be caught up with being the only one in the stadium not wearing white. Especially when we get to 45, 50, 60,000 in there, and there's 35,000 of you didn't get a free shirt. But
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm excited to see. I think they did another giveaway with the schools, and there's a whole lot of free tickets going out to school age
They are.
kids and their
Yep.
families and things like that. So I hope that a lot of people took advantage of that,
Yep.
and we'll have a more packed house than what people think.
And
Um,
Jack just said as he's there, the families of Lavelle, Deshaun, and Devin are at the Wahoo Walk, and Mike Hollins is greeting all the players and coaches. So
wow, that's great.
I know it's tough, bittersweet, tough day for those guys, I'm sure, but also, you always want to keep them in your memory,
Yeah,
and Virginia's definitely done that.
I think it's a good way to honor them every year with a game, and uh, probably does their family good to be around the program. Um, but yeah, tough day, but good opponent to come in, William and Mary. You hope that, like you said, Jeff, that you're not really worrying about the score too much in this one as far as winning and losing. Should be more of a tune-up game where you're working on things. You don't want to show too much probably. Um, it should be more relaxing even than Coastal. You would think. And Coastal was what 48-7.
Yeah, something like that. It
So
was big.
yeah,
Well, and then William and Mary. I mean, if we're in a tight game with William and Mary today, we might be in trouble because they're used to winning tight games. Well, they've lost one and they've won one. They beat Maine 28-27 last week, and then they played Furman the first week and lost 23-21. So they like to play those close ones. Coach London over there, former Who coach. I wish him the best there, and William and Mary's a school I like to pull for William and Mary, just not in Scott Stadium, uh, but I expect us to probably have some fireworks today offensively. things to work on and tune up, as you say. There's some things you can work on in an opponent like this, such as let's make sure we have 11 on the field every time we take the field. Let's work on that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
coaches and players will know their assignments. It's been a week since the NC State game, and I've settled down. And NC State, I mean, they're undefeated now. They're running towards the national title, so it's looking like not a bad loss right now. But,
I was a little concerned when I saw Wake Forest was beating them late in the second quarter the other
it was
night.
14-0 to start the game, Wake Forest. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Especially
mean,
Wake Forest, who I think beat who was it that they beat by like 1 point, 10-9?
yeah,
Was it like
yeah, Western.
Presbyterian or this?
It was
Somebody
like
bad.
like a Western Carolina or something like that.
Yeah.
WCU, I think so. It was. I think that's Western Carolina. Um, but yeah, I'd like to see us come out and just put the hammer down on William and Mary, send them back to Williamsburg. Um, you know,
I'd like to get
it'll
Danny
prepare.
Kalen a lot of work today. Um,
Yeah,
I think Chandler Morris is one of those guys. It's gonna be difficult for him to play all 12 and stay healthy, just the way that he plays. So, you're gonna have to probably get Kalen ready for a game or two. You hope health is something that you can keep, but no guarantees there. Good morning,
and Jack
Jack.
chiming
Jack
in
should be
here.
Jack should be remoting in live from the walk. Can we get that done, Jack? Can we get that done? If we send you a link on the cell phone, can we get a live shot? I'm sure he's responding right now.
He tuned in to say good morning, gentlemen, and tuned right out.
I want to
Uh,
say good morning to like our friends over at the Stadium Road, Who Crew, the Wilk Hall tailgaters. Where is it that you park at, Jeff? When
yeah.
I don't know what they
Oh my
call
God.
themselves.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know.
They Now my mind just went blank. The Valley
Is that
Who's. The Valley
Stadium
Who's.
Road? Valley Who's. That's right,
Yeah.
Valley
Valley
Who's.
Who's.
Valley Who's.
You turn at
Um, just go past
the Chinese.
Fontaine, and it's on your right.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but I'm sure the Mimosa Bar and the Bloody Mary bars they're rolling right now. The eggs are scrambled, the bacon is sizzling. Lots of good tailgates going on, I'm sure, right around Scott Stadium. I wish I was there. I wish I could smell it. The smells and the sounds. That's what I miss the most when I'm not there. And just the camaraderie of being around Virginia fans, and um, we could definitely use that anytime. But uh, definitely be good on a day like today.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Also, we were able to give away our tickets to today's game to one of the Who fans. So hopefully they'll enjoy the game, and the Who's put on a good show. Uh, I'm expecting. I don't know. What's the spread? What was the spread? Any idea?
I didn't see the spread.
30
I could look it up
something.
real quick.
They may not.
Um,
They may not post that one.
I put my final
It's a
score prediction out, so I guess we should do that um, this morning. But mine's
yeah.
already been out in the article that I put out for giving people reasons to come to this game. And
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 what's
the
your final
fact
score
is,
prediction? Tell the
uh,
listening audience.
the final score prediction I gave was UVA 55 and William and Mary 6. And I don't know if
Ooh.
that comes as 2 field goals or they go for 2 or we don't, something like that. But I'm thinking 2 field goals. One with the starting unit probably, and then one late when we've got reserves in. What are you going with?
So my final prediction, I'm going to go 45-7 Virginia. They're gonna William Mary's gonna squeak out a field goal. Who's Odom is here. Um, there you go.
Yeah, coach coming in with 99, leaving 90. That's a
99
fact.
and leaving 99. Full agreement. Full
So the
agreement.
spread, it looks like, wow. I wish I was out of state. They got Virginia minus 27.5.
Man,
That's a pretty low bar.
I
Pretty
gotta
low.
I gotta contact somebody I know out of state and get them to log into my account and put the account on it.
20. Here's the scary part, Jeff, is that Vegas ain't normally that wrong.
No,
So what's
no,
going on here? You know,
no, I know.
that's an interesting spread. I thought it'd be more than that. I thought
I
it'd
was
be
thinking maybe
around
35.
35.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But I don't know. If you look at the history of Virginia and William and Mary, they've come in and beaten us a few times, but we've also put the hammer to them some too. So
And I just think they're not stopping our offense today. No matter what happened last week against NC State, in which the offense moved up and down the field, but we
yeah,
lost. We're gonna that this is not NC State we're playing against. We're gonna move the ball up and down the field, and they're not stopping us. And the way our defense did not, of course, we did not play well against NC State, but the way they played against Coastal Carolina, I expect it to be 10 times against William and Mary. The tackles we missed against NC State, the angles we took on defense, um, you know, against William and Mary, I feel like those tackles are going to be made the first
yeah.
try.
They don't have a CJ Bailey and they don't have a
Right.
Hollywood the Smothers, right?
Right. Now their quarterback, once again, I don't know a whole lot about William and Mary, but their quarterback in their first week or last week against Maine ran 10 times for 73 yards. So he does like to get out and move. And he also was 13 for 19 with 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he didn't turn the football over. So those are good recipes for William and Mary. And then they lost that first week to Furman. But, these are opponents, they're in one-game scores. And Hughes threw for 208 yards, their quarterback, a touchdown, a pick. He also ran, once again, 57 yards, 15 carries. So he's had 25 carries this year. He had a touchdown run in that game, along with 37. So he does like to get out and move. He was our leading rusher, number of carries and rushing yards against Furman. And against William and Mary, he only ran the ball 10 times, but they had Rashad Raymond, who ran the ball 18 times for 69 yards. And against Coastal Carolina, I thought our defense shut that run down. Hope to see us get to the quarterback. I agree. Last week when we ever got there, we missed. We had some whiffs.
Yeah.
I don't expect a whiff today.
No, who's Odom? He's kind of stole my one thing I want to see today. The one thing I want to see today is the quarterback on his back multiples of time, at least 5 sacks, because they should be in a lot of passing downs. They should not be able to run the ball on us. Should set up a lot of second and third and longs. They should be trailing for, the overwhelming majority of the game by multiple scores, I would imagine. So we should have an opportunity. And then the other thing I want to see is some turnovers. Let's have some havoc. If you can't make William and Mary guys fumble and you can't get any interceptions on William and Mary, then it is going to be more of a cause for concern when this one's over if you don't do those things. Like, I think
Right.
NC State has a couple of guys that are just they might not be NFL players. I think Smothers will be, and Bailey could be too, but they're
They have
elite
playmakers.
level talents
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
And so they're going to give us trouble. They're going to give everybody trouble. But William and Mary, like you said, don't have that. So if you can't create any havoc today, then it's a recipe for probably a bad rest of the season.
Yeah. Real quick too, I wanted to mention, I know we talked about the tribute they're doing to the families and that they're at the Wahoo Walk. If you go to Jack's Twitter account or X account, it's at Wahoo Jack. He's got the video of it on his X account. So go check that one out. Excuse me. But yeah, and then as I settled down from last week's NC State game, a couple of things. NC State is a Power 4 opponent, and we were on the road. And coming into the season, we all picked Virginia to beat NC State, but it was not a game. We all said if we could just beat NC State, so it wasn't a game we came in saying it's a guaranteed win. You're missing some key defensive pieces that potentially make a difference. Excuse me, in that football game. Considering this, one or two plays, we win that game. So the only things were disappointing to me were, and we talked about this yesterday, Jay, was I didn't even know on those fourth down calls that we only had 10 on the field. And listening to Ball Hawks podcast, that Matt Schaub and him were looking at the field, and there's only 10 guys out there and a critical fourth down. You just can't have that. So we got to clean those up. Once again, and they barely got those first downs. That first one, they barely got that. Maybe if there's an 11th player, maybe they don't get that. I don't know, but got to clean that up for sure. But
one thing I also want to give Ballhawk credit for is that one of the things he said, and it's true, and unfortunately we're at this point, I think, is that you don't want to be at a point where every game is a referendum on the head coach. Like every single game, every time they run through the tunnel, it feels like we're looking for excuses for either to keep Coach Elliott or to let Coach Elliott go. And you don't want to be at that point. You just want to have a guy, he's your head coach. You might have a bad loss or two, some good wins, hopefully. But like he's your guy. And unfortunately, we're not in that spot right now. I think people are still important people are still deciding, can Coach Elliott be the guy that leads this team where the program wants and needs to go? And so you hate to see it. You just want a Welsh. You want a guy who hey, this is our guy. He's here, and I hope Coach Elliott's that guy. And if you win enough games in a row, you kind of silence that. We just haven't been able to do that with him. Right. And so you got to start that. Hopefully, I mean, we're hitting a tough stretch after, today and then next week, Stanford. I'm going to give us that one as well. I think we'll probably be heavy favorites in that. But then you hit the toughest stretch of the season to me with at Louisville or FSU at home and then at Louisville. And those are going to be two tough ones. So we'll see. There's a lot. I mean, you think about it, Jeff, the future of the athletic program and football makes money for everybody. So that's why I say the athletic program, the future of the athletic program is potentially hanging in the balance with football. As far as, getting the most money that we can get, being able to constantly compete at the highest level in every sport. And we need football. Everybody, you got to be winning in football. And that's why I question, and I didn't write an article on this, and I thought I might, but I didn't. Like, is it really the best decision to play NC State out of conference? Or would you have been better off to schedule somebody, whether it be another Coastal Carolina level opponent, and just play 8 home games if you can, and make sure that you're winning these non-conference games, because that's what you see going on in other conferences. I mean, look at what Indiana did with us. They canceled us and they added I can't remember who they added, but I mean, it was a really low level team. And I mean, is that the right way to do it? I mean, Virginia is not Alabama. Alabama plays Wisconsin today. And while Alabama, I think, is a little bit down since Saban left, they're still Alabama. They can get away with playing a Wisconsin because Wisconsin's still multiple levels below them. Like, there's levels to it. And at UVA right now with football, we're not at the level where we should be playing in NC State, in my opinion, out of conference. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I know it's a good matchup. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's cool. But the more I think about it, I'm thinking, why would we subject ourselves to losing a game out of conference when when we don't need to. We don't need to do that.
Yeah. It's like NCAA football, the video game. Back in the day, if you were trying to get recruits in, in the beginning, you could simulate and play all weak opponents, so you win, 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 and
Get that
then
FCS East.
yeah. But you could play. You could step up just a hair and go play Arizona Tech or I don't think that exists. It probably does exist actually,
Uh,
but
East Tennessee State, one of
yeah,
them direction. We'll call them a directional school.
a
And
directional.
remember we played Central Michigan at one point, the
Yep,
Chippewas.
yep. That
Um,
was that was Welsh years, right?
yeah, we played Ohio University, the Bobcats.
Yep, yep.
Um, we've played some of these smaller schools, and I like the idea of doing that rather than playing at NC State. I know the thought of you want to play Power Four teams to get ready to play your conference schedule, but I just want to win. Like I just want to win. We play Phoebus High School. I just want to win.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I know we took the L, but hopefully that game does prepare us for something we're going to see later down the line because on defense, they took it to us, and they took us behind the woodshed on that one.
Yeah.
So hopefully, playing Florida State, you got another mobile quarterback and offense that's just cooking. So hopefully we learn something out of that game and don't get stunned. Of course, if you win the game, then you're 4-0 potentially playing Florida State, and if you lose Florida State, yeah, you're 4-1.
Right.
But we should
And
be
you're
3.
still thrilled to death to be 4-1.
Yeah, it doesn't
Now,
hurt as much.
if you lose that, you're 3-2, and it's like 3-2 going to Louisville.
Yep.
That's not good. That's not
But I
good.
do
And that's
think Virginia's going to.
assuming Stanford and William and Mary go as you think.
Yeah, yeah. I do think Virginia's going to win. They'll win a couple that you just don't see them winning as well on the schedule. So hopefully it works itself out, and we find a way to get hopefully maybe 8 wins.
Yeah, I think we can. I mean, the offense is really good. And how many CJ Baileys are out there? Like, I mean, I don't think there's many that we're going to
No.
play. So, I mean, it does show you how far, like, if you look at, like, think about what an Oregon did to an Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
How good is Oregon?
Right.
My God, they got that Nike money, but still, good Lord. I mean, just ridiculous.
I did want to mention. I want to shout out ODU Monarchs today. Let's go Monarchs!
Go Big Blue.
They've got a big one versus Virginia Tech today. We like to put, of course, I want Virginia Tech to lose them all. And of course, I'm always going to pull for ODU against everybody except for Virginia. But can we get Brent Pry? Can he win enough games just to keep his job? Like, what's it take? Maybe 5 wins, keep his job? Because I'd like him to stay in the position he's in.
No, first of all, no. If they lose today, I'm not sure he gets back on the bus.
I feel the same way. And I think it's going to be a barn burner today against ODU, and that's why they canceled those other games against ODU too. They know. But I'm concerned about Pry leaving, and then what potentially could come behind him if your prediction would come true, which I could very well see John Gruden coaching there, and then that's going to be a whole new animal.
Yeah, you do not want to see that. I promise you that.
Keep that weak Brent Pry over there at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I don't want to see anybody. Brent Pry seems to be the perfect candidate, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep. Also, I did want to mention one more thing. So we haven't spoke on this one yet, but week 1 in the books in the Cavalier Connection Fantasy Football League, 16-team league. I didn't even know how Jay had the settings set up. So I guess it's you play your opponent, and then the top 8 scores get a win as well, and the bottom 8 take an L. So true full transparency. I played Jay last week and I got the win, and then I log into the account. I'm like 1-1. Like, what in the world? I don't even know who my other opponent was. I had to check in with him to see, and so that's what happened there. I
Yeah,
wasn't a top 8 scorer.
Jeff called a break in full transparency. In full transparency, Jeff called a break. I think you beat me by maybe 3 points or
3. Yeah.
something, and that
Yeah.
was George Kittle getting hurt. Early after catching a touchdown, he was dominating. So now my roster's in flux.
Yeah.
I mean, George Kittle out on IR, Austin Eckler, who in a 16-team league, you
Yeah,
can't
he's been
lose
good.
anybody. And Austin Eckler just went down Achilles. He's out for the year. He's probably career over. So I'm down 2 guys that were in my starting lineup. It's getting late early in
I
West
think
Point.
I think you had a trade offer for Drake London, and I don't know why you're not entertaining a trade offer. You need to get pieces.
Oh, I put out an offer to try to get pieces, Jeff, but
It'll probably if it's a Jay Ballard I know, it's not a fair offer. So,
Jeff, we don't need to go to this level of extreme talk. It just seems not right.
yeah, so we're 1 week in, and so this week I get to play Nick, who is also our friend of the show who donated the fire pit tailgate fire pit for the winter, which is really cool.
Yeah,
His company, they're the Hawkeye Outdoor Living, I
that
believe.
sounds right. Yep, that sounds right.
I mean, I can't shout them out enough. If you need a tailgate fire pit, because this is going to start cooling off here soon, or any fire pit for your backyard, if you go check them out.
I would also like to say in full transparency that I didn't lose any other fantasy games last week.
Well,
in the other leagues that we are in together.
I'll give a full transparency. I didn't lose last week.
Yeah.
I was 3-0.
Well, you did. You took an L in the bottom 8. You took an L.
Well, you took 2 L's. You're 0-2 in that league.
Right. Absolutely. I never denied that. I'm just saying, full transparency. In our leagues that have mattered for years, and I had the highest point total in both of those leagues. Just full transparency. Full transparency, highest point total. Full transparency. Played the team in both of those leagues with the second most points that week. So tough L's for those 2 guys, Derek and I'm trying to think about in the B League who I played. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, Dave Jackson, my friend Dave Jackson. They had the second most point totals in the league, and we don't do top 8 scores or top 5 or whatever get a win. So they start the year 0-1 with the second most points, and I was staring that in the face. I was really frustrated, but managed to pull them out.
Congratulations to you.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, so today, make sure get down to Menser's, go get your whiteout gear, whiteout in Scott Stadium. Let's go beat the brakes off of William and Mary.
Do we have a final score prediction from Jack?
I don't know.
Jack, let me see if I can get one. Also, Jeff, you want to update the people on the pick'em? It's not good for me. Article coming out today with the picks for this week.
I'm 2-1. I was 2-1. Jay was 0-3, right?
Correct.
And Jack was I don't know. I don't know what Jack's picks.
Jack was 1-2.
So once again, another victory for me at 2-1, leading in the standings on that one as well.
It's very early.
Very
early.
Well, I talked about it. What did Jack do? What was Jack's score in the Cavalier Connection League last week?
I don't know.
I got to check it real quick just to see before we get off the air. Jack got a win too, and Jack's 2-0. Jack was in a top 8 situation. He had a big point total actually compared to us.
Yeah,
I
made a mistake believing George Kittle could stay healthy, and that's going to end up costing me all year.
Believing any 49er could stay healthy.
Yeah.
But who's William and Mary today? Get your whiteout gear at Menser's. cheer loud
Probably a
for
little
Jay and
early for
I.
pizza, but I tell you what, on the way home, A Squared Pizza would be a great place to stop. Get that Detroit style delicious pizza on the way home.
For sure. And go to thecavalierconnection.com for all your latest articles, from Jay's wild predictions to his bad predictions to some good entertainment as well. But no, go check it out on thecavalierconnection.com. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Go Who's.
Go Hoos.